Let's make a utensil handle. This one is going to be a spreader. I'm going to start by making a couple of stringer tools. And the reason I use stringer tools to twist my glass is it gives you a handle to hold on to instead of just trying to work with a stringer and spinning the glass. Melting the two pieces apart, setting them aside. I have a spreader blank sitting on my right, kind of hard to see, but it's right there, and I just held the mandrel up against it to see how high up on the mandrel I'm going to start the glass. We're going to make this so it goes off the end of the mandrel, so that there's only one hole in the bead. Starting with the clear core, I'm going to build up the glass to the thickness that I think I need. Then I'll add the colored glass on top of that. Just adding it gather by gather, coming down the end of the mandrel. And coming down off the end. Just continuing to add the clear. We'll speed up through this section just to get past it. The more clear I add and the more clear I build up, the less amount of colored glass I will need. Shaping with the mandrel. Getting it firmed up for the outer layer. This happens to be medium red from a fet tray. And you keep the core not molten and just work right on the surface, adding the glass to the glass. I don't tend to do large gathers. I just add a ring or two of the glass and then go melt a little bit more. Kind of keeps things under control and tends to work for me. Shaping with the graphite marver. And just continuing to add. Checking the length to make sure I have enough length beyond the stem on the blank. I'm just speeding through this part because it's just more of the same. Adding the red all the way to the end, marvering it into shape. Using the rolling marver to get the final shape. Get everything smoothed out. Make sure that where the hole is perfectly even so that it sits nicely against the blank. Turning the speed down on the Electric Mandrel Spinner to make it a little more manageable when decorating. Using an iris orange or raku by Rickenbach stringer to do a design. A little bit of scroll work. Keeping the whole thing warm. The stringer work is going to be raised a little bit, so I'm working at not overheating it so that it doesn't melt into the base color. I'll have it melt down a little bit more once everything is in place. One more line of stringer. It's the vein on the leaf. A little bit thinner stringer than what I was using before. I'm going to come in with the stringer tool and spiral all of the ends of my curls. I just grab the tip of the stringer with the stringer tool and twist. Adding some dots. Now I'm going to melt down the dots and whatever other stringer work isn't down enough yet. It needs to be at least halfway melted. I don't want to go completely flat. I want some texture. But I'm going to melt it down and get the color to change so I can get some multicolored rainbowish type effect going with the stringer work. Looking it over, seeing where I need to melt a little bit more, to add a little bit more heat. Checking the end to make sure it's still good and straight. I'm going to add a little detail to the very end of the handle, which is just a spiral. And there you go.